Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the basically how far ahead, seriously, how significant Arctic animation was, and all the things that have been doing in terms of fan subs and that kind of stuff. And just sort of give a comparison of where we were and how far ahead we were in this thing. Just basically, answer that question. How did you really get that name as the Godfather of anime? And just sort of give you the perspective of where things were. Okay. So before I begin, I'm going to want to remind everyone to go down below, click like and click subscribe, and if you want to throw in a comment about fan subbing and how your influences and that kind of stuff came in from fan subbing. If you've experienced it in your in your past, that again helps the YouTube algorithm recommend my videos because that's. Because YouTube never recommends my videos, and so you can do that. If you like to support me financially, I do also have the super thanks button, as well as I do have the links for Patreon and PayPal below, where I make a lot of extra episodes for the subscribers and that kind of stuff. There's a whole bunch of content, at least 15 episodes of content available now on that platform, which basically covers topics and does things that I can't do here on YouTube, just because of all the rules and regulations that are on YouTube. So I got them all separately. Again, you can see all that content and whatnot in a Excel spreadsheet. Link is down below. You can just see what all my various different episodes I do have, as well as some of the episodes I do also have on the subscriber page, right? So you can see what the preview of what's coming up, kind of like a TV guide, if you will. Okay. So yeah, again, do look down below for those links. All right. But in today's episode, we're going into talk about the significance and the basically where Arctic animation and everything related to the fan community. Okay. So just sort of put things in perspective of sort of what the timeline was in here. Again, we started in an era of obviously Japanese animation where a lot of the stuff in the 80s, in the 80s and even the late 80s, didn't have subtitles and didn't have dubs, right? It's just very few U.S. companies were doing anything commercially. So basically, a lot of the stuff that was coming over from Japan, especially during the big initial rush, right? So right after 85, 86, the number of OVAs really jumped. And again, if you want to take a look at exactly how they jumped, you should check out my episodes where I cover the My Anime list for the years 1985, 86, 87, 88, and 89. You will quickly see that there is a really big increase in the number of episodes, OVAs, and TV shows and movies that came out at that time, right? So, a lot of us at this time still had to basically watch those things in straight Japanese. No, no subtitles, no dub. Full of commercials sometimes. Or again, straight in Japanese. It was only just when I started doing fan subbing in '89 that this thing of this concept of being able to understand some of this Japanese animation stuff really occurred. Okay, so then once we started showing people and whatnot that hey, it is possible to get these Japanese animations with some translation, with some subtitles using this fan subtitling technique, and so we figured a lot of other people would have tried to get into the learn how it's done, maybe try to do it themselves. So, like a lot of things that happen on the market at this particular time, a lot of other clubs and people and that kind of stuff think, well, if you're able to then apply subtitles and do translations to Japanese animation, maybe we should try to get into that and be able to get into doing our own translations and that kind of stuff, maybe some different ones or whatever for different sort of animes and to get into that. But you quickly find out that even with those the peaked interest and that kind of stuff, the overcoming some of the huge hurdles like the initial investment and cost and that kind of stuff, you'll find that the gap is disparingly large, and I've got a document here today, which will go over that. Okay, so as I did an episode earlier on about the animerec.arts.anime, the internet was still very, very young at this age. Okay, so we're talking about the early '90s. Okay, so basically an environment before Windows 95. Okay, so a lot of us on PCs still have not got a Windows interface. So obviously, the people who have been operating on Macs already do. But we're still experimenting with this thing called the internet. It's nothing like what you obviously have today. There's no the existence of things like Google don't exist. Even the things like GeoCity pages and whatnot still doesn't really exist. Most of the communication is done off of the use group news feeds and that kind of stuff. A lot of people are still working on dial-up, so very, very slow modem speeds and that kind of stuff at this particular time. So internet is very, very shall we say, very, very in its infancy stage. Okay. But I did manage to find, in addition to the episodes I've done on the Stephen Pearl's shall I say FAQs, anime FAQs at this particular time, I ran across another document which I forgot about, which was a anime fan sub compilation or list. Okay, now this particular list was which is done and compiled by a J. Harvey out of the Akron, Ohio, from the Akron Anime Club. Okay, he initially started this, and he compiled all the list of all these different fan subbers and that kind of stuff that was available at this particular time, and provided their information and that kind of stuff and what they were doing. Provided updates for different animations that they were working on, and basically, made it so that it was kind of a one sort of shop place to look for different fan subs and that kind of stuff that was available. And then if you were interested, you can contact each of the various different fan sub groups to ask for whatever it is. Okay, and so I'm going to go through this document and just give you an idea and talk about the scale and the size and put things into perspective about this particular list, and then you can just see how and then you come up to with your own conclusion of how I got the moniker of the Godfather of anime. All right, so without further delay, let's have a look at this fan subbing list that Jay's put together and see what it tells us. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so we start with the first page of the fan subbing list here. It's compiled by J. Harvey, and this is dated May 9th, 1994. So just to put things in perspective, we began doing Orange Road subtitling in about 89. So, this is like, roughly 5 years after, we started doing subtitling, and obviously, multiple fan subbing groups sort of, saw what we're doing and going, hey, maybe we should start a fan subbing group. We've went down to this Comic-Con and that kind of stuff. So people back in like '91 and whatnot have known about our presence. They've seen some of the fan subs that we do for things like Bubble Crisis and that kind of stuff. They show them at these sci-fi cons and that kind of stuff. So if people know what we are, they kind of realize, okay, yeah, maybe we can do sort of the same thing. And then but when '94 came out, so it's 5 years after we started doing our stuff, there's obviously a couple of anime groups that are out there. There's obviously, they mentioned that there's updates to the SV2 and Anime Triad, so all these other groups kind of getting in there. And I think this is also like '94 was when Anime America, which is the predecessor to Anime Expo in '95. So this is like just 1 year before the first Anime Expo. The first sort of time that anime really had its own convention. In a big way. Okay. And you also think that these major manufacturers of U.S. companies and that kind of stuff, they only just started releasing anime in like '92. Maybe a little bit in '91, but for the most part, '92, '93. They're really getting it going, right? all the major companies like Animego and Viz and Central Park Media and all these guys are all kind of jumping on the bandwagon and getting things fired up and getting things started. So again, I guess obviously the same thing. The fan subbers are also getting on it. So he's basically started. This is all this list of all these sort of known fan subbers were kind of gathered together by Jay Harvey, okay, using the resources from anime, recarts.anime, okay, which is also moderated and kept by a Stephen Pearl. Now, of course, I've done a video, with the main FAQ that Stephen Pearl does. So this is a separate sort of list, which is maintained by Jay Harvey for all the fan subbers. So in case you're interested in getting contact with fan subbing groups, or you want to get some fan subs for your local anime club, or you're just interested in getting some anime, man, you can go on this fan sub list. So in today's episode, I want to go through this list, and I just want to just give you an idea of where how dominant Arctic Animation and the stuff that they did was even to this date at this time. Okay, and let's go through this sort of list. Okay, now at the beginning of the list here they have this thing called protocol. Of course, these are just things that you should know about when viewing this list. Some procedures, different things about what to expect when going through this list. But you can go through this list later. I'll just go through it and get to the information further down. Okay, so we'll begin with the first anime group, which is called Anime Triad. By the way, this is all in alphabetical order, so again, this is just so the first one is Anime Triad. And the list that they have the Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the 1988 movie. The Legend of the Galactic Heroes episodes 1 through 4, so the first 4 episodes of the TV series. Super Kakuro Nuku Nuku, Crusher Joe the movie, Supernatural Beast City, the Lupin plot of the Fuma clan, or a lot of people refer to as the Fuma conspiracy, Gundam 0083, Video Girl I 1 through 6, Gunhead live action movie, which is interesting because there's a lot of promotion has gone into that particular live action thing, especially New Type magazine, that kind of stuff. So yes, they actually had a subtitle version of that one, and Ranma Half, the second movie, which I do believe at this time, Viz coming out with Ranma, I think most people have already removed Ranma Half off their list as a one of the licensed titles. But okay, but for now, that's what they've done. So again, it's not a really long list. A couple titles such as like Gundam 003 is almost, shall we say, publicly available, as the scripts for them are already widely available, and you'll probably you'll soon see later on that many groups have actually taken the sub files for these things and put them onto video. So it's nothing uncommon. But we'll continue on with the future projects here. Okay, under future projects, he's listed. They're going to redo all of the Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and hopefully all the way to episode to the end, basically. Of course, they need translators. Again, right at the very front, one of the major problems of this time is actually having an in-house translator for doing your fan sub translations, right? And of course, I guess 1 through 26, a brief sort of, kind of scripts sort of available. Just no one's ever gone through and actually done it. So obviously they're going to try to do that. Let's see, Armor Hunter Mellowlink, okay. Part of that the Vodums thing there. I know we did that one. I guess they couldn't find a translator to get that one off the ground. They're doing all the various OVAs for Vodums, but they're not doing the TV series for Vodums. Again, they need translators for that. They're doing Time Stranger. I think they mean Time Stranger, which is the Goshigun movie, but hard to tell. And the new Dragon Century, both RC and Rico. And I know we did Dragon century, the first one, which is the OVA version, but obviously they're trying to do that one and the sequel for that. Okay, so that's that's a pretty good list of the titles and that kind of stuff there. Okay, so and if you're keeping track of the score, that would make it 4 movies, 24 OVAs, and 4 TV episodes. And you can keep track of that score as we go to the next titles. All right, the next one is going to be Arctic Animation, which is my fan summit group. But I know I'm going to run out of time, and this is a pretty large entry. So now I have done a video about my fan summit group. Of course, this is from 1997's rec.arts.anime through the FAQ and all that kind of stuff. Those episodes are available, so you can actually have a detailed look at what the episodes are about there. But I'll go quickly over them in this particular type of video. But I'll have to wait until the next one because I'm almost about to hit the 20-minute mark. So I'll continue this in the next episode. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. That was a good sort of look into the past, and now that things have fast forward almost 25 years, you can see just how much significance and how much difference and how much the gap was that occurred during those days, and that's basically how I gained my moniker, right? It's just a known sort of nickname that I got, and I guess those kind of nicknames when it's given to YouTube by somebody else tends to be more descriptive and definitely more representative of one that you make up yourself. All right. So again, I'll try to get into more episodes. We're going into older documents and things that are on the net, as well as more fan letters coming up. Okay, so definitely do keep track of that. And then I got 2 more years left to go on the top 30 showdown for the 1980s, and I'm looking forward to getting to that because I said that is going to get really tough as there's a lot more OVAs and TVs series that came out in the late 80s, right? So it'll be it's gonna require a lot of shuffling around of the things that are already in the top 30 as I've made them so far. So again, stay tuned for those. All right, so until next time, I will see you again.